So I'll tell you aloha and welcome to 1/5 of the world's fresh water. We're here in Sheboygan, Wisconsin on Lake Michigan, the second biggest of the Great Lakes. It's 22,440 square miles of open water. We don't call it a lake, it's an inland ocean. And this is my playground. The surf is my turf. I'm a surfer, been surfing here for 42 years in the #1 hotspot for freshwater surfing in the world, Sheboygan, Wisconsin, the Malibu of the Midwest. I, Larry Williams, along with my brother Lee Williams, are the founders of the largest freshwater surfing event in the world, the Dairyland Surf Classic. And this weekend marks the 20th anniversary of the Corona's Dairyland Surf Classic. What makes it such a popular place for surfing is our gnarly coastline. We are located centrally on Lake Michigan, so we get a swell out of the north or northeast or southeast, which produces waves, which makes this a popular area for surfing. Along with our point breaks, our coves, our 1 mile long pier, our reef, and rocky outcroppings. This is easily one of the best places to experience surfing in the Midwest.
And where do people all come from for this event? How far away?
We've had several people from Hawaii come in for this event this weekend, California, Florida. Every major surf break almost in the United States can be represented here. And of course, there are people that find themselves here for one reason or another, business, families, or girlfriends from as far away as Australia, Japan, and some other major breaks around the world. So we really do get an international flair through this event. And it's not just a sport, it's a lifestyle. It's the way we dress, the music we listen to, the vehicles we drive, the vacations we take, and it's the way we live. It's not just something that we do on weekends. It encompasses almost every part of our life. So we're truly living the Hawaiian, California lifestyle right here in the Midwest.
And why is it Lake Michigan instead of any of the other Great Lakes, like Lake Superior, which you think is going to have more surf because it's a larger body of water?
Well, surfing happens throughout the Great Lakes. You have to imagine the Great Lakes is 8 states of the United States and 1 province of Canada. It's 11,000 miles of coastline here on the Great Lakes, which makes up more coastline than the east and west coast of the U.S. combined. Now, any of the Great Lakes are big enough to produce waves. Lake Superior can really catch a big swell. But it's Sheboygan that's been in the spotlight all these years just because of its location, the way the weather fronts move through, the easy access to get to. A 5-mile stretch of Sheboygan, you can sit in your car any place along the 5-mile city limits and watch surfers from your car. Now, come and get sand in your shoes if you like, but a lot of our surfing can be jumping off of icebergs in 33-degree water temperature to enjoy the big winter waves, so you might want to stay in your car.
So isn't just summer that this happens? You guys go right through the winter time?
The reason we have the Dairyland Surf Classic, we are celebrating that summer is finally over. It's the last big bash of summer, and we welcome everybody in to enjoy us. But what we are also doing is we're celebrating the beginning of our surf season. It's September, October, November, December, January, February, and March that we get our biggest waves. We're heading towards the gales in November, and that's what we're looking for. It's those big fall and winter storms that bring in our best surf.
And are people going to come to North Beach, or are there other areas in Sheboygan where this goes on?
Along a 5-mile stretch of the Sheboygan coastline, our coastline is so gnarly that because of the twists, the river mouths, the piers, the jetties, the coves, the reefs, we have 22 different breaks in a 5-mile stretch. Now, any California or Hawaii boy would go slackjaw hearing that. But around every corner there's a different style of wave, and of course we look only for the best waves, so we'll be isolated in just one spot. And you know, even though you know surfing's going on and there's waves out there, we're hard to see. We're so far out, we're just tiny little specks, so you still have to know where to look.
Have you seen any major, or have there been any major changes with this event in the last 20 years in any way, or has it been pretty?
Well, the Dairyland Surf Classic is constantly changing, and through the 20 years what we've seen is many years ago We know that people have come to the Dairyland Surf Classic, met other surfers. They become girlfriends, boyfriends. We've been to the Dairyland Surf Classic and saw engagements. I'm sure there's been some babies made here. But 20 years later, now these families are still here. They're bringing their kids along, and it's really become a family event with kids on beach cruiser bicycles and skateboards, moms and dads pushing kids into waves with their very first surfboards. And it's a way of sharing what we have with the rest of the community. And now Sheboygan's joined in to help us celebrate this event right here on their shores.
How has the water quality of Lake Michigan been for this event historically?
Well, we know because of our efforts to make everybody aware of everything going on our playground, the surf being our turf, our water is cleaner now than it was 20 years ago. But of course, we're always aware of infestations of things like zebra mussels or the Asian carp.
Have zebra mussels been a problem?
Zebra mussels are a problem here because what happens with the surfers are they walk across rocks that these crustaceans, these shellfish are attached to. And because they siphon out the impurities that are in the water, you walk barefoot across these crustaceans, they crack open, break open, can cut your feet, and I'll guarantee you within hours you will have infection. And you go to the hospital, a lot of hydrogen peroxide, they irrigate your feet, and you're out of the water until you're healed up. So many of us wear either water socks or wetsuit boots to get across some of these rocky areas to surf.
Okay.
We've never had a reported shark attack. We've never had a drowning of a surfer. And in the big waves that Lake Michigan can produce, and Lake Michigan can produce waves in excess of 24 feet several times a year. It's one of the most treacherous bodies of water in the world. Our waves here are 9 seconds apart, and because surfers are used to the buoyancy of salt water, they come to here, it totally changes the ball game. You're 20% less buoyant here on the Great Lakes than you are in any salty water on the oceans. So we've created a new style and a new form of surfing here in fresh water.
Was there anything else that you wanted me to ask you that I didn't ask you?
The Dairyland Surf Classic brings in, through the years with their changes, has focused on a lot of different events, whether it's paddling competitions, surfing competitions, or just hanging out, creating your own music with your guitar, your bongos, and your ukulele. But this year's Dairyland Surf Classic, we brought in Surfrider Foundation, set up a big information booth to alert us to some of the issues going on here on the Great Lakes. And also Shed Aquariums out of Chicago came in, and we're very proud also to have them. They're handing out recyclable bags that you could use for grocery shopping that are much like cloth, and pins alerting you to their issues. And so it's all encompassing. To bring in more of the haoles, the tourists, the inlanders, to find out more about what the beach can be all about. It's a little mini vacation, just an hour or two from your house. It's also pushing the limit, seeing how hard and how fast you can paddle a surfboard. But it's getting off the computer and interconnecting with the true lifestyle of the beach and this beautiful surfing event here in Sheboygan. It's 2 hours from Chicago, it's an hour from Milwaukee, it's an hour from Green Bay, it's an hour and a half from Madison. It's very accessible. And our downtown district here in Sheboygan is a 4-minute walk to all of our downtown and shopping. It's another 3-minute beach cruiser, bicycle ride, or skateboard push down to our beautiful riverfront filled with refurbished fish shanties, that clothiers, art galleries, and eateries and coffee shops are in. And then to walk across the river and see the beautiful Blue Harbor Resort area, the 180-room Victorian-style resort right on our lakefront with a huge water park where families and friends can share a beautiful day at the beach and enjoy the sand and the sun.